Alright, so here's a rough overview of my upgrade so that I can have an adjustable mattress in my Geo Pro. So I wanted something that was going to be simple and light, and that's the key thing here. There's maybe 20 pounds or so of lumber here, so it's definitely light. So I'm going to give you a basic rundown of the dimensions, and we'll go from there. So basically you're going to need a 4x8 sheet of 1/2 inch plywood and a 4x8 sheet of 1/4 inch plywood. Now obviously you don't need that much lumber, it's just so if you can get smaller ones scrapped somewhere, and as long as it'll give you the dimensions for these cuts, then that's fine too. So we're going to go 58 inches wide. The queen mattress is 60. It'll be inset 1 inch from each side of the mattress. So it is 58 inches wide by 27 inches. That's a little less. I did sand and stuff. I mean, it doesn't have to be accurate, but that's where I was going, was 27 inches. Then we have this panel here, which is the 1/4 inch plywood. This is the 4-foot wide section, and this is about 14 inches. So on the 1/4 inch, I did it the 4-foot width of the piece of plywood, and I ripped it at 14 inches. So this is basically 4 foot by 14 inches for this 1/4 inch. Then down here, I have another strip that's 2.5 inches. So this strip here that's 2.5 inches, and it's 58 inches long. I then took and I used machine thread screws. They were a little bigger in diameter because it's only going into 1/4 inch plywood, and you might hit some of the metal frame below, which would be good if you do. So on mine, that metal frame was right here. So it's right here on mine. That doesn't mean it's going to be there on yours. So basically you may have to improvise this. You may have to put screws going down with nuts and washers on the bottom side. I did use liquid nail on all these screws. So we've got liquid nail in the screws, and then I also used liquid nail where the hinges go in. So I'll give you my screw inventory in a second. These are just standard door hinges. I didn't pay attention to the size. The small hinges on this piece, which are 2.5 inches, are 11 inches from the edge. The 3-inch hinges down here, which are 6.5 inches from the edge, I liquid nailed these screws in. Then I changed these screws out with machine thread screws right here. These are 8x32s. These are 10x24s. And then I used locking nuts with the nylon bushing in the nut and washers. This will be fine. It shouldn't really affect the mattress a whole lot. We needed something to be really stout holding these in. I wanted it to be going all the way through. There is a lot of pressure coming up when you lift this up, but these aren't going to really hurt the mattress. If you're concerned about it, you might be able to take maybe a piece of rubber inner tube from a tire, put over this and staple it, and then that way the mattress is never laying right on these. I'm not going to worry about it, I don't think. These are those nice rounded locking nuts. They don't have a lot of square edges. They're mostly round on the top, and so I think these will be fine. So there you go. That's the initial design. Now I'm going to show you the next few steps here in a bit. We need to take a board here that is going to taper off, because when this is laid down, this is 1 inch thick, and so we want to taper this down a little smoother. You really don't fill it with an 8-inch mattress like we have. It's fine. A thinner mattress, it might be an issue. So keep that in mind. This whole adjustable bed thing is all based on using an 8-inch mattress, not the mattress that came with it. So we do not feel this little dip. If you're going with a thinner mattress, you're going to save some weight because it's a thinner mattress, so that's fine, but you're probably going to have to then take and lift this up all across here, so this is all higher all the way across so that you don't feel that dip. But honestly, I would just get a bigger mattress because you're going to add more weight with the lumber. You probably add another 30 pounds. Just have a better mattress, be comfortable. Don't sleep on a piece of garbage. Let me just give you a quick inventory of the hardware I used so far. These are the screws I used to hold down the 2.5 inch wide by 58 inch piece of wood that is going right here, this piece of wood right here. These are 10 by 1, number 10 sheet metal screw. Then we have 8 by 32s. I've got 3/4 inch Those go through the 1/2-inch plywood for the little hinges. And then I have these here, the 10 by 24, and those go through the plywood with the big hinges they're at. And then I have the 1/2-inch 8 by 32s that are for right here, this where this hinge connects to this 1/4-inch piece of plywood. All right, let me get the next stage ready and I'll show you what we got. And these are the washers. I had enough number 8. These are the number 8s. And I had enough number 10 washers for all these screws that were going in the hinges. All right, so just to help my slope a little bit here, I made this, but just get yourself like some baseboard, 3/4 inch by say 2.5 or 3 inches would probably be even better. Just something that has a nice taper rather than make it, but it's a Sunday and there's no lumber yards open, so I just made this. I went ahead and just put 2 screws. Really, it's just mainly to help angle that down a little bit, so we're coming down a little less drastic. The other advantage too is because this hinge is right up to it, when this is coming forward, it'll help keep that from sliding forward. That's kind of my theory on that, but it just adds a little bit of support this direction. And then got to take this, bring it up, and I'm going to put the carpet. Works well enough for this, for most of it. Like if you're doing it right there, the carpet will keep it from moving. You don't need to worry about it. You can put it there, you can put it here, but if you start to go deeper, like out here, it's gonna slip. So I got one more piece that I'm gonna put right there so that I can lean the bed back this far if I wanted to, and then that will take care of that. And also it's 1 by, so that when this is laying down, that will lay flat. It'll provide a little bit of lift right there so that this is level rather than sloping back. That's the plan anyway. I'll get the other piece of lumber and we'll put that in. All right, and lastly, mostly it's the carpet holding it. I did put 4 screws in this. Again, it's not real strong, but it just needs to keep it from sliding back. I did liquid nail the screws, and so mostly the carpet will catch that. Like I say, the carpet acts as a really good stop for anywhere along the route. And that's a little steep. You want it to actually come out a little sloped like that so that it's back a little bit. But this will hold you. It was holding Rob and I just fine. And then, like I say, you can go out further up to here for an incline, and that works for that. And then if you fold it all back in, that makes a nice solid surface. It keeps it level with this line right there. There you go. So now the next thing you need is a way to lift this whole thing while you're standing on this side, and that is what the rope is for. So I'll show you how that handle will work here in a moment. So here we go, we got rope attached, and I can control my angle of pulling, and then I can control the length at where I grab the rope. Now this rope might be a little long initially, but the idea is I can lengthen this rope and adjust it to where I'm pulling out with that end the same way with this end at the same amount of tension. So then I can pull this up while standing over here like this. And that should allow me to be able to lift the whole thing up using the rope. Then I can throw the support wherever I want it. Let me go ahead and clean up all my sawdust, vacuum all this up, put the mattress back on, and let's see how it works. All right, so Robin was able to do this by herself. So now that she's out here filming, yeah, you basically grab the rope. Here's your support, pull it back, flip it down. Want to adjust it up, bring it up, put it down. You want to go back even further, you can bring it out all the way to that point. That's as steep as it can go. And then if you want to bring it up, you can go pretty much where this is 90 degrees from the platform, and that's your upright position. So there, and anywhere in between. All right.
Good job.
And then we'll throw it back down. There you go. I almost forgot to mention one thing, where to position the support. Basically, it is 10 inches from the top. So from this area here, measure 10 inches down, and that's where you'll put the hinge. You do that so that when this is folded in, it is clearing this support right here. So at 10 inches, that makes it 24 inches down, and that will be basically right here when it's folded all the way in. So it'll just miss that. So you've got this nice little opening here to hold your support. That's the whole point of this little 3/4 inch gap, is to have a place to store the support. So again, we'll pull the support back, and you can see it kind of come up. You saw how it flipped out there. That's where you need two hands. You're pulling it back, you grab the support with the other, and you position it. The only other measurement left is the measurement for the distance from this, and that's 5.5 inches. Honestly, I just put that to where it looked like it would fall right about here, not giving too much of this area here unsupported. It lands right about there or so. And so that way it's got some good support between, you know, it's closer to this area. So there's not a huge space here with no support at all. You might consider putting a furring strip right here on each side, would give it more support on the edges, but I don't know if that's gonna really help you a lot. You do actually have enough room with the 3/4 inches that you could take a piece of the 1/2 inch plywood and rip and make another stop right about here, which I may do at some point, and that would be where this position would be, because ideally that should be right about there when you position it. But if you use the 1/2 inch plywood, that should still fit with the gap that's here, in theory. It should work. We'll see how that all holds out. If I ever have any issues, I will post a video, but I think it's finished. All right, guys, have a great afternoon.